things that you as an employee or independent contractor should be looking out for in a contract before you sign it. The intellectual property ownership. Who owns it? So generally, if you're an employee, by default, the company owns all the intellectual property that is being created during the time that you're working and within the scope of your job as well. So if you have a handle on social media and you are talking a lot about your business on that handle, alongside the fact that you even say that this is what you do, that handle is more likely or not going to be considered to be the property of the company, not yours. So be very thoughtful about what you're doing with social media, especially. It's still a very developing area of the law. A lot of legal eases coming out, a lot of case laws coming out also about it. However, it's still very developing and it's ever changing right now. So if you have a handle or social media account and you want to own it completely, make sure your contract that you're signing, doesn't matter if you're an independent contractor or employee, states that if you are starting a social media account with your name on it, you own it. Because that has become a big problem with a lot of high level, they're not celebrities per se, but they're people who are making a name out for themselves, especially if they become influencers and they're working within the capacity of the company that they're working for. And sometimes the money is coming from the company, and a lot of the investment, the capital investment into their marketing of their social media also is coming from the company. So company really takes a stance that this is ours and not yours. Plus, if it's written in the contract that it's theirs, it's kind of clear night and day that it is theirs. So make sure the contract is clear on what intellectual property they do own. It doesn't matter if you're an employee or if you're an independent contractor. Now, on the flip side with independent contractors, the default setting is that generally independent contractors own the intellectual property that's being created. So if there is something that says made for hire or assignment of rights, make sure you're okay with it. A lot of times employers do want that because say you're making a website for somebody, I know that I would want to own my website and not have my website developer own it. So there are some things that you're making that are very specific for the employer or the person that's hired you, and they would require it to be theirs at the end of the day. So if your services or your products are something that you are going to be giving ownership to the person that you're creating it, then make sure your contract says that. But if you're giving a license for them to use it, so make sure your contract says that. And also, how are you able to use the product that you're creating or the services that you're creating for your promotional purposes also, and for your portfolio, for marketing. So have those things very clearly listed. And if they're not clear, you need to make them clear, because these are the things that become the points of contention when people are trying to exit or when they're trying to move on from something. And so there should be a clear understanding of what's happening, and also it's really expressing the relationship that you have already discussed with the employer.